Hello everybody, welcome to AccuReggie. We have another storm here, but I've got to warn you on this one, unless you are well inland from the coast, well inland from the ocean, or, and by well inland I mean at least 100 miles inland from the ocean, or are in the mountains, this is really not your storm. This is not going to be your big snowmaking storm, but we'll talk about it and get into the details on what's going to happen. Last time we talked about the storm being a blob, and this time we're going to talk about the storm being a bowling ball. It's just sort of like a ball. It's going to roll down to the south, and then it's going to roll up the East Coast, and then roll off into the Atlantic Ocean. It's really just like a bowling ball right now. And here it is. It's over Iowa and Missouri right now. And I'm going to go to the model and we're going to see what happens. So if I put the model in motion here we go. Iowa and Missouri. Here it is right now. And watch it just kind of drop right down into the south. All right. And then it's just going to sort of roll down there through the south. Now, of course, on the south side of the storm, there's rain, heavy rain. On the north side, back into Tennessee and into North Carolina, there's snow. So these areas are going to get snow. Now, what happens is the storm rolls. Here it is, a little roll, a little bit up into the Carolinas here and up the coast. And what happens is we get a streak of snow, okay, from Tennessee, northern Georgia, Tennessee, North Carolina, that tri-state area, right up the Appalachian Mountains. Now, as you come down from the Appalachian Mountains, there will be a little bit of snow. So places like Charlotte probably gets 2 to 4 inches, then a bunch of ice, freezing rain, some sleet. Washington, D.C. If you draw a line from Charlotte to D.C., that line right there, Charlotte to D.C., about 1 to 3 inches before the changeover to sleet, freezing rain, and then rain. Okay, and that's really the story. You have to go further inland towards the mountains to start getting those 3, 4, 5, 6 inch snow amounts, and even more. I mean, there's going to be areas on the cold side of the storm in these mountains that get over a foot of snow. But if you're in the major cities from Charlotte to DC, 1 to 3, then you change over. All right, now let's keep it rolling. We're moving up the East Coast. Philadelphia, you're going to see 1 to 3, maybe a coating, maybe an inch before the changeover. And this is going to be predominantly rain then. New York City, 1 to 3 inches, and then the changeover. You kind of get the drift here. Boston, you'll get maybe a little sleet, a little snow, and then the rain comes right in. So for the major cities along the East Coast, this is not a major snowmaker. You have to go inland. You have to go an hour west of any major city to start seeing major snow. And even those areas will see a changeover eventually, then maybe go back to some snow. It's really the major snow with this storm. We're talking the Appalachian Mountains in Pennsylvania, down to Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Buffalo, upstate New York, way upstate New York, Syracuse, Rochester, these areas up here, way up in New York, mountains of New Hampshire, Vermont, Massachusetts, mountains, yes, any mountain area, mountains of West Virginia, mountains of Virginia, and then of course into the Carolinas. That's where the major snow is going to be. So what happens is you might be wondering, well, why is that the case? Why can't, I mean, look at this monster storm. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit. This is the whole problem. You see this high pressure right here? See this thing? It is going to be freezing tomorrow. Saturday is going to be freezing cold up and down the East Coast. But what happens is, as the storm comes up, it starts to attack the high, right? So the storm is sort of pushing into the high. But the high doesn't hold its ground. And this high is it's pushing down the cold air from Canada. Watch what it does. It slides off to the east. If this high pressure stayed over New York, we would be looking at 1 to 3 feet of snow up and down the entire East Coast. 1 to 3 feet of snow. But no, the high pressure slides away, and that allows the warmth to surge up right along the coast. Now, the mountains will lock in the cold a little bit more and anywhere inland, But right along the coast, that warm air is going to come up and just change our snow right over to rain. So that's what we're looking at. It's a big storm. There will be surprises. Things can change a little bit from here on out, but that's what we're looking at right now. Major cities, you're talking 1 to 3 inches, then change over to rain. It's going to be mostly a rainstorm. You got to go at least an hour north and west of any of the major cities to get into some heavier accumulating snow, more frozen precipitation, ice, etc. All right, folks, that's the update for now. After this, more cold, more snow. We're just getting started. Winter has just begun. All right, folks, enjoy it. I'll keep you updated.